All right. Good evening, everyone. I now call the Winton Woods Board of Education regular meeting to order. It is 6:30 p.m. on Monday, December 12th, 2016. I would like to ask that you please turn off all your electronic devices and/or put them on silent for the remainder of the meeting. And everyone, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Seymour, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Here.
Mr. Birdie?
Here.
Dr. Johnson?
Here.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Here.
Mrs. Miranda?
Present. Okay, before we move into the first agenda item this evening, we have special guests with us tonight. Being that it is the holidays, we've invited our wonderful and talented Winton Woods High School Bella Voice, I believe it's supposed to be. It might be misspelled on your agenda. Voce, okay, got it. Dr. Johnson and I stand corrected.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for being here. The board is going to switch places with you, and you can come on up for your performance.
Good evening. My name is Beth Miller. I'm the Associate Director at the high school. Mr. Dear Watley couldn't be here this evening, so we decided to bring Bella Voce, which is our advanced women's ensemble. This ensemble is actually comprised of 21 women, but with it being exams, not everybody could join us. But we wanted to thank you, Mr. Smith, and the board for inviting us this evening. The first piece we would like to perform for you is Silent Night.
Holy night,
And she actually emailed me last night. She was like, you know what, Mrs. Miller, I know this on the guitar. Can I accompany the group? And I said, oh, absolutely. So she, for the first time, played it today. So awesome. Good job. Thank you. Next piece we would like to perform for you is Deck the Hall.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Toll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes, fa la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses, fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la.
And our last piece from this evening is actually one of the pieces that we performed at our concert last week. It is an arrangement of Catapan.
Pam pata pam pata pam pata 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 pam pata pata pam pata pam. We take your little jump with a whistle rolling on, with the sound of instruments to pata pata pam. With the sound of instruments we proclaim it's Christmas. It's what's so good all we are joined now with God, we are close as flutes and drum. For today our Christ has come. For today our Christ has come. Let us sing and dance with
Once again, thank you so much for having us. We hope that you all have a wonderful break and a very happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep moving right along here to our first item on the agenda this evening, which is our district honors, recognitions, gifts, and introductions. Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, Madam President and Board. Ivana Perry Ross. Come up so we can say great things about you. So this is from Mr. Day, her principal. In the years that I've known Ivana, she's always been a very caring and compassionate person who is always looking out for others in her classroom. She assists students in her class without being asked and is a model student at the intermediate school. That's from Mr. Jeremy Day. Ivana is a star warrior. She comes to school every day ready to do her best work and is a leader for her peers in the classroom. She has made great strides in her academic and social skills. She also participates in several extracurricular activities such as sprinters, Unity Club, and the Students versus Staff basketball game. That was a disaster. Not for the kids. Thanks for being awesome, Ivana, and that's from Mrs. Mitchell. All right, so congratulations. Ivana's award is the Kiwanis Caring Student of the Month. So, proud mom, thank you very much for sending her to Winton Woods City Schools, and we are just very, very pleased that she has a caring spirit and great attitude. Thank you.
Can I just say a
You
word?
should say something. Yes.
Congratulations. But I'm Ann Akeson. I'm president of the Green Hills Forest Park Kiwanis. We've been a community service club for over 70 years in our community. We have a long-time relationship with the Winton Woods schools. And one of the really great things that we're very pleased to do is to give each month a character award to a student. And Mr. Smith has read off all your fine qualities. But the award says, in special recognition of your outstanding character trait of caring. Within the character of an individual lies the welfare of the nation. It is character that enables the individual to survive, to endure, and to transcend the negative. Your values reflect your commitment to a student of good character, to your peers, your teachers, your parents, and your community. But Mr. Day really said it in a great way without all those terrific words. And as part of the award is a gift certificate from Barnes & Nobles to go ahead, go read.
Yes.
Okay, now yeah.
Mom, would you like to come up with a picture?
Here first. One more. There you
Our next award goes to Matthew Barnardo. Matthew is actually our student of the month. So here's what Mr. Tash says about Matthew. Matthew Barnardo is a Winton Woods warrior in the truest sense of the word. He is hardworking, intelligent, mature, enthusiastic, and kind. My first interaction with Matthew occurred because of a scheduling conflict in his Chinese class. Due to his demanding honor schedule, Chinese 2 was unable to fit into his schedule. The principal recommended he go into a class with older Chinese 3 students, but I wasn't sure how Matthew would respond to that. I was pleasantly surprised when Matthew not only was okay moving into a class of all older students, but he welcomed the challenge and is now a top student in that class. Matthew has maintained straight A's since he has entered high school. He is extremely humble about his achievements, though never bragging or putting others down. Instead, he's a natural leader, helping and encouraging others with high energy and a positive attitude. He often takes the lead in group projects, and his teachers say he does a great job. You may think that to earn such high marks in all honors classes, Matthew would need to just study all of the time. This is not the case, though, as Matthew is involved in a number of extracurricular activities. Matthews is on the academic quiz team, the world quiz team, marching, concert band, and part of the stage crew for the fall play. And if that isn't enough, he also takes part in activities outside of school. Matthews is a member of the Northern Hills Bassoon Ensemble and is a former Carson Scholarship winner and has entered the competition again this year. As you can see, Matthew Barnardo is very deserving of the Student of the Month award. He epitomizes the warrior way. I look forward to having him with us for the next 4 years as he leads his peers into the next chapter of their lives. That was written by Mr. Brad Tash, school counselor, Winton Woods High School.
We have another certificate that reads for outstanding academic achievement, enthusiasm, and commitment to service in the community and your school district. It's co-sponsored by Gold Star and Kiwanis. And since it's Gold Star, here's some Gold Star coupons for you. Take your family.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Matthew, who did you bring with you tonight? My mom and dad. You drove them here?
Soon, though.
Soon. Very good.
All right, our final award is a Community Spirit Award. And is Amy Charlie here? Yes. Now, this is not part of the script, but this is just something that I feel. In order to really get young people enthusiastic about books, you must be a nice librarian. You have to be. I had a mean librarian, but I still liked books, so I still did it anyway. But you have to have that spirit to love children and want them to read and to be successful. So thank you first and foremost for that. So a little bit about Miss Charlie. Imagine being able to light up the faces of students the minute you walk into the classroom. That's what happens when Green Hills Children's librarian Amy Charlie visits our Wee Warriors at Winton's Primary North and South. The students know that Miss Charlie will introduce them to new people, help them visit new places, and teach them about our world. All through the books she brings to read. For more than 5 years, Miss Charlie has taken the time for classroom visits with many of our teachers and has made a point to stop by at the end of the school year to promote reading through the library's summer reading program. As educators, we're grateful for the additional support that this program provides for our students when school is not in session. Ms. Charlie has also helped our librarians coordinate the teacher collections through the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County and has arranged for our schools to have free author visits. Our primary school librarians, principals, and classroom teachers all expressed their happiness that Ms. Charlie was receiving this award. Wynwood City Schools expresses its appreciation to Ms. Amy Charlie for her involvement in our classroom. The time you spend with our students has a wonderful impact on their learning and their imaginations. Please accept with our gratitude the district's Community Spirit Award for December, Miss Amy Charlie. Thank you.
My schools are our teachers are the only ones who know I do it.
And you know what? Now
gotta
all
be
these,
south.
now you see all these thousands. Look at all these thousands of people out there now.
I do lots of class visits.
So, you want to say a few words?
Green Hills will be open soon. Not soon enough, but it'll be soon.
Thank you. Very good.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Smith. Congratulations again to all of our students and our wonderful singers who you just saw. We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute recess and we will return after that. All right, we will now resume our regular board meeting. There are no comments from the public, so we will move right on to the next item on our agenda, which is the approval of minutes as attached. And board, unless you see any necessary changes to these, a motion would be in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you call that vote?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kennan?
Aye.
Mrs. Moran?
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Now we'll move on to our treasurer's report. Mr. Seymour, you have the floor.
For the month of November, ending in November, boy. Our year-to-date revenues are $22.4 million, and our month-to-date were $3.8. And as you can see, we finally got our homestead and rollback. So the auditor's office has caught up with their new software programs down at the county office. So we're pleased about that. Also, our year-to-date expenditures in the general fund are 20.7 million, which are currently approximately 2.5% under budget or under appropriations, however you choose to say that, and that would be equivalent to about 1.3 million at this point. And then our unencumbered balance of all funds was 17 million, of which 16 million was in the general fund. And if I could, I would just like to ad-lib just a little to let the board know that today we sold 9.8 million in notes, and our interest rate was quite good, and we sold them at a premium, and our interest rate was 1.15%. There were 4 other school districts out with notes today, and their rates were 1.4, 1.5, 1.7. We were 1.15 because we went through the Ohio State Treasurer's backing for our rating.
Stellar. Thank you, Randy.
So that process, even though it was quick, it paid off for the district, and I believe we saved around $78,000 on interest on the notes.
Good.
Bravo.
So I just thought I would let you know that, and then our next step will be to sell more sometime in late March or April.
All right. Thank you, Randy. Any questions for Mr. Seymour? Okay, with no objections being heard, we'll let the financial report for the month of November 2016 be submitted to audit. And Mr. Seymour, back to you for 7.01.
I guess I should say that was for building construction. We weren't borrowing money to run the district. That was for building construction.
Thank you for that clarification.
Also, we had good interest this month on our portfolio, and for the month of November, we earned $40,965. We'll hope that that goes up significantly. Now we'll have additional funds to try and save the taxpayers' dollars by investing wisely.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Board, a motion would be in order.
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to approve the investment report, or make a motion to approve the investment report for November 2016.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you please call that vote?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And back to you for 7.02, Mr. Seymour.
You're approving, once again, the resolution authorizing the district to participate in the Ohio School Facilities Commission Classroom Facilities Assistance Program. They're renewing your resolution. As you know, we're already in line to receive the funds, but this is a renewal of your resolution. The only update to this was our bond indebtedness, our status on our debt. And I don't know if Steve would have anything to add to that, but it's the same project that the voters know they voted for. And we will be back accepting their aid later.
Thank you, Mr.
Series of
Seymour.
resolutions.
Board, a motion would be in order.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the school district's board to participate in Ohio School Facilities Commission Classroom Facilities Assistance Program as presented.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you please call that vote?
Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And we will do 7.03, Mr. Seymour.
Rarely does I ask the board to amend the appropriations, but as you can see, we're amending the appropriations tonight to facilitate our new facilities. As you can see, bond retirement, we will have a bond retirement fund now with an estimated amount of interest for the year. We will have a building fund. However, I'm appropriating $0. I don't think we'll start construction this year, but I need the board to establish the fund for the revenues that will start coming in. Classroom facilities, 010, is the part of the matching funds that will be used, that come from the state and locally. We could possibly start using some of that on architects or bidding or some process there, so that is a guesstimate for this year. Our facilities maintenance, as you know, we had to move $1.5 million, and you passed that resolution. Now, before I get tax advances or taxes in January, I need your authority to deposit those funds into 010. And then lastly, we're increasing our special trust account 007 from $68,000 to $78,000, and that's mainly due to student trips. We're getting in more and spending more on student trips than anticipated. So with that, I was asked that you accept the revisions to your appropriations resolution, and then I will file with the county auditor.
Yes, Madam President, I would like to make a motion to authorize the following appropriation amendment for fiscal year 2017 for the funds as identified. Do I need to read them all for?
No,
Okay.
ma'am. You covered it well, thank
Okay.
you.
I'll second that.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, please call that vote.
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye, motion passes unanimously. And Superintendent, we will move over to you for 8.01.
Yes, Madam President and Board, before I bring the recommendation for the building reports, I'd like to just remind the Board and the community that we'll be on winter break from December 19th to January 2nd. And one of the things that the Board did, and thank you, Board, for being consistent with that other recommendation. In the past, in some districts, students go on break and then they come back to the same classes. That's very difficult to deal with. So in our case, in our district, once the winter break comes, you are done with those classes and then you start a new set of classes, so you have a fresh start. And report cards will actually be distributed on January the 6th. So it gives the students a chance to have closure, make great grades, and then go on to the next series of classes instead of worrying about exams and preparation over the break. It really kills your break if you have to do that. So thank you guys for being very consistent with that, because it helps kind of keep their momentum going. So the recommendation is to, of course, approve the reports of the superintendent regarding leadership team minutes of all the 7 schools.
Thank you, Superintendent. We'll move right into 9.01.
Yes, Madam President and Board. Before I bring the recommendation as it relates to personnel schedules, I'd like to talk about Schedule B specifically, and that's for certificated staff. What you'll see in your notes is something as it relates to a sub-administrator. One of the things that we have to do often is when there's an administrator out, we have to have that position covered. The truth of the matter, with the amount of students that we have in primary north and south, they really could use a assistant, because 500 kids is 500 kids, regardless of how people see it. And with the new venture that we have underway with visiting schools and looking at different architecture and different structures, we know that administrators are going to be out frequently. So the administrator that we're recommending tonight is not actually going to stand in somebody's place. Basically, it's really a placeholder, because that certificated position is very, very difficult to fill. And we don't want to scrounge around and look for a replacement at the final hour. So having someone with the training and the background that can support us at a minute's notice would be to our advantage. So the recommendations to approve personnel schedules as presented: Schedule A, resignations and retirements; Schedule B, certificated staff; Schedule C, support staff; Schedule D, extra duty and supplemental employment; and finally Schedule E, leaves.
Thank you, Superintendent. A motion would be in order.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel schedules as presented.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? I would just like to say thank you, Superintendent, to you and your team for being proactive. That is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Seymour, would you please call that vote?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And next we'll move into the legislative report. And board members, on your desk there you have my legislature report from OSBA, as well as the OSBA briefcase for you to read in your free time. I just wanted to point out that some of the bills you'll see on this report are bills that I had spoken about previously that actually were passed in the General Assembly's lame duck session this past week. So as you can see there, House Bill 89, House Bill 410, which is the one that prevents school districts from expelling or suspending students, House Bill 438, and Senate Bill 3, Senate Bill 235. And then on the last page there, I wanted to point out something that I found very interesting, that the House also passed what's called House Bill 487, which is legislation that would require the State Board of Education to establish a state seal of biliteracy. So the seal of biliteracy, is an award given by a school district or county office of education in recognition of students who have studied and attained proficiency in 2 or more languages by high school graduation. So I thought that was neat. And then I'll let you read that briefcase there on your free time. And then moving on to our Great Oaks report, you also have on your desk the short and sweet report from Mr. Cleary, who is our liaison to the Great Oaks. It is a short report, as he spoke to all us about before the meeting, because they have not had a meeting yet, and they're also going on holiday break, so that's also for you as well. And then we will move right into 11.01. Mr. Birdie, you have the floor.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve or to appoint Dr. Johnson as President Pro Tem for the organizational meeting coming up in 2017.
I'll second that motion, please.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you please call that vote?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And now we'll move into 11.02. Mrs. Ruggles, you have the floor.
Board, I'd like to make a motion to select and confirm a date for the January 2017 organizational meeting for the Board of Education. It was suggested that the organizational meeting be held on Thursday, January 5th, 2017 at 6:30.
I'll second that.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour?
Sure. Mrs. Ruggles?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And we will now move into comments from the members of the board. Mr. Birdie, you're up first this month.
Actually, I don't really have that much. Just wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays during the winter break, and hope everybody has a safe and happy time if they're traveling or even if they're just staying home. So,
Thank you, Mr. Birdie. Mrs. Kuhn?
Very much along the same vein. Happy holidays to all of our community, and hope everyone has a safe and happy trip. Any events planned? But thank you very much. Also, one other thing, though, I did want to compliment our programs. The winter programs or the holiday programs. The one that always is near and dear to my heart is the Hallelujah concert. Alumni come back. It's a great opportunity for community to come in. It fills you with the festive holiday season, and it's a fantastic opportunity. We did get to see a little bit of the preview of the talent earlier tonight. And again, kudos to all of our students for their hard work.
Thank you, Mrs. Kuhn. Dr. Johnson?
Yeah, just echo the happy holidays. Thank you for your service to Winton School District. I did get to attend a couple of the events, kind of sat in the back and no one knew I was there, and I kind of like it that way. So I get to kind of just enjoy it. But just to say happy holidays to everyone and to be safe during the holiday season.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Mrs. Ruggles?
And I'd like to say the same thing. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone, and to the staff and to the students and to the families and community members of the Winton Woods City School District. We really appreciate everything that you do, and we hope that you have a safe holiday.
Thank you, Mrs. Ruggles. And I'll just piggyback on my 4 board colleagues here. I wish everyone a wonderful and safe holiday season. And to our students, read, read, read. Mr. Superintendent, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, keep in mind, we talk about it often, but in 2003, the poverty index in this community was 20%, and now it's close to 80%. So as we talk about celebrating the holidays, there are some children and there are some families that will need some additional support. If we find that there are people out there that we can support, I hope that the district continues to support our families, because your joyous break may not necessarily be theirs. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Mr. Seymour, anything you would like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, and I do not see a representative from either OPSI or the Teachers Association. Is that correct, Ms. Wilson?
Correct.
Okay. All right, board colleagues, there is a need for an executive session this evening. We will now entertain a motion for that.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session for matters of personnel.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you please call that vote?
Mrs. Douglas?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mrs. Miranda?
Aye, motion passes unanimously. We will now move into executive session for our wonderful Waycross Media partner. Thank you for coming. We will not have a need to come back after that. And thank you all for your attendance this evening. Have a merry and joyous holiday and winter break.